Hello, DJ Krisopolis, also known as Beef from the SDCO forum. And no messing about, we're straight on with part 3 of my Super Hang-On playthrough, onto the senior course today, where we race around America. We had Sprinter and Winning Run before, so Outrider Crisis this time. It's one I usually use for this course, my favourite. Anyway, here we go. We start off in what appears to be a facsimile of, or is it a facsimile? I was quite sure how you pronounce that, but anyway, it's a likeness, if you will, of the New York, well, supposed to be. Empire State Building's recognisable as well. I don't know what those weird black and white things are, the shield-shaped things. Wasn't quite sure. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't quite seem to remember there ever being a series of black and white giant shields littered across New York. Might just be my imagination, I don't know what it is. Anywho, straight round the bend. But enough about my sanity, we're on with the game. Actually, if you've ever seen the MotoGP series during a race, they have cameras on board the bikes. Usually these are placed somewhere on the front, down where the wheel is or something, I don't know. But somewhere in the front where you can basically pretty much see everything that's ahead of whichever bike it's on board with at the time. Yet, one unusual thing I always noticed was Valentino Rossi's onboard camera, for some reason that I can't quite fathom, is placed directly in front of his arse. I'm not quite sure why he's chosen to have his camera right in front of his arse. I don't know why. Maybe he likes his arse so much he feels the need to broadcast it on telly to millions of people. But yeah, next time you watch the MotoGP race, watch out for any onboard shot for Valentino Rossi. I promise you, the camera will most likely be right in front of his arse. Anyway, we're on to the second part of the America course, which looks suspiciously like the first part of the Asia course. I mean, seriously, I don't know if it's exactly the same background, but it's got the same grass colour, same track decorations as well, exactly the same tall trees. I think it's got the bird signs as well. Or actually, was it the bird signs they had in the last one? I think it was them nitrous oxide ones that I couldn't quite see, or something like that. But yeah, going around this corner here, straight rather, past the blokes in the green and the yellow leathers. Don't know which teams they're meant to represent, if any. Actually, it's quite weird that I'm the only one in the blue leathers, the blue and red leathers. Everyone else is in yellow and green. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, presumably they're all part of the same team, but then again, what sort of a motorcycle racing team would have about 70 riders competing for it? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, especially given there was only about 5 bikes or so at the start. I mean, where would they all come from anyway? I mean, they can't just appear in the race out of nowhere. That's illegal. That's disqualification in terms of the race itself. I mean, especially when you consider that most of them are actually rogue bikes who specifically set out on a mission to just run you off the circuit when you try to get past and form blockades across the circuit and all sorts of things. But yeah, shinky shanky doodah. Anyway, here we are in a very alpine section of the course. I always thought this was sort of a very Christmassy, wintry sort of thing, this bit. Even though technically it's not really all that wintry, it's just a lighter shade of grass, if anything. I go quite well with this. I don't know what those green and orangey sort of billboards are supposed to be. Some sort of line, I reckon. I mean, if I had a closer look at it, I mean, I'm only looking at this in a sort of like part of the screen really, because of course the game window is only so big. But yeah, it's probably not. 64 seconds, get in there. Oh, Yeah, took my eye off the ball there, as per bloody usual. No, I don't want any cigarettes. Get lost. Morrow, whatever. I'm around the bend again. Oh, get away and... Oh. Are you joking? See, didn't I just talk a minute ago about them making barricades? What are they doing now? Seriously, you couldn't make this up. Well, you could, but, you know, you'd have to be proper sadistic. But, coming towards the end of this stage now. Actually, I'll take this opportunity to discuss some of the other games I play. For this series, ABLP, I'm just mainly sticking to retro titles, basically. Specifically on the Mega Drive, which I used to have many years ago. Still do, somewhere. But, aside from this, I do try to keep my hand in more modern titles from time to time. Admittedly, I don't play new games as much as I used to, nearly as much as I used to anyway, but I do, like I said, I try to keep myself up with the times, as it were. I'll give you a few examples from my collection, but before I do, let me just point out how horrible this specific bit is. I mean, look at this, you have to slow right down to even keep yourself on the edge of the track, as it were. That's as much as you can possibly slow down in this game, and it's horrible. I think it's the same for this, well, not quite, but just about. Really horrible. Anyway, examples of modern games I've got. Oh yeah, there's a game I got a couple of months ago, of course, which was Street Fighter Prologue. I'm sure you know about that. Complete remake, total overhaul of what was the long-forgotten very first game in the Street Fighter series, before the Street Fighter 2 made a name for itself, of course. And they've actually made it good. It's quite a nice surprise, really. I'll tell you what though, given the endless number of remakes there have been of 2, 3 and 4, it's been a long time coming really. It's about time the first Street Fighter game got some loving. Especially after that bodge re-release that was Fighting Street. On the WiiWare I think it was, trying to distance themselves from the series. Got the latest expansion pack for Shenmue 4. I tell you what, it's a game that needs no introduction, of course. I bought it last year for the Sega Maximum, and still playing it today. It's never a genre I would have ever pictured myself playing. Had you asked me beforehand, I would have just, you know, I'd have rubbished it. But, you know, it's highly addictive, it really is. I mean, it's such a huge game. I mean, you know, 700 gigabytes across 3 discs. It's one of the largest games ever. And even today, I'm just finding new stuff all the time. I mean, even long after I've completed the initial story, which was absolutely epic, by the way. There's just so much to see and do. But yeah, I love... it only costs me a little bit extra, but I love downloading the mission packs because nearly everyone they've released so far has introduced me to a new part of the game's world that I never even knew existed. Which is, given my explorative nature of games, is quite something. But yeah, that new expansion pack came out a couple of weeks ago. You can get it over Sega Link. And it's, as well as the extra couple of missions, there's the usual standard fare, some custom costumes, of course, a new weapon. There's extra song, I think, in there. A couple of new voice packs, the usual G's. Oh yeah, while I think on, Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Yeah, I know that came out ages ago now, and I actually finished the whole thing over Christmas. Whole story. But, you know, it's a fantastic ending to what's been an extraordinary series. It was a long time in coming. And I tell you what, I was shocked at the finish. I mean, who would ever have thought that Gordon Freeman would turn out to be the Combine Overlord? This, you know, got very bizarre in the middle. But I enjoyed it, start to finish. Been an excellent series. Of course, got the orange box beforehand and highly anticipating this release. I was a little disappointed there wasn't any sort of Portal crossover in there. I mean, To be honest though, didn't really need it. It was a fantastic game in its own right, as is Portal. And I hope both game series come back in the future. I really do. But given Valve's sort of schedule, as it were, it's if it's going to happen at all, it's going to be several years away, I think. But nevertheless, that's a small cross-section of some of the more modern titles I've played. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. We're up to stage 11, we're nearing the end of stage 11 of the America course, and we're in a sort of... I don't know why the buildings are all yellowy green in this one. Oh, bollocks stood up again. Yeah, I'm not holding out a lot of hope now for getting there in time. I will definitely try though. I mean, at first crash early on, I was just building up my time, as it were, and got a bit ahead of myself, of course. Only 51 seconds on the clock. I tell you what, if I am going to finish this, it's going to be very tight. But nevertheless, big boost in section. That always helps. Another tight turn coming up. Really have to concentrate, especially in these last few stages, especially in the last two that are coming up. You'll see why. It's just, like I said in a previous video, it's just turn after turn after turn, and so many bikes on the field. It's you have to be like fully concentrating on everything, as I am right now. Hopefully, yep. I don't mind hitting the odd bike every now and then at this stage in the game. I mean, it's almost inevitable really, but 54 seconds, maybe. We'll have to be very careful around this bit. Keep the speed down. Yep. If I crash at this point, it's all over, really. Can't finish it. Right. Yeah. See that? If you're getting up to maximum speed at this stage in the game, you're doing it wrong. You really are. You have to keep it right down. Oh, just 15 seconds. So nearly 4 turns, and then there it is. Yep. Oh, that would have been disastrous if I did that. Pardon me. 46 seconds. Maybe if... might just do it. I might just... I'm not promising anything. Ooh. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Just trying to get inside that, but... very, very tight. Surprised I got away with that, really. Ooh. Still slow, 15 seconds. Can't afford a mistake. Oh, on the boost. Come on! Come on! Oh, I might just do it! I'm gonna do it! Come on! Gas in! 2 seconds left on the clock. That I'll tell you what. I've had some tight finishes on this course before. The few times I've finished it, but 2 seconds. But yeah, new ending of course, as well as the kissy woman. There's a really old guy who throws confetti in the air and gives you a sort of V sign. Not a naughty V sign though, of course, but you know, as you can see. Anyway, name entry. And don't worry, I'm not going to sing the back and tune again. Just going to enter my initials, crack straight on. Yeah, I did put KRS by mistake. I used KRS for a while back in the day. I usually stick to KRI, but you know, potato, potato, and you know how the song goes. Anyway, that's the third part done. Join me next time for the fourth and final part of my Super Hang-On playthrough. Bye bye.